On the northwestern corner of Africa, where the continent reaches out toward Europe across a narrow strait, lies a kingdom of dazzling variety and ancient soul, Morocco. Home to around 38 million people, this is a land of snow-capped mountains and golden Saharan dunes, of wild Atlantic surf and calm Mediterranean shores, and of imperial cities whose labyrinth medinas have barely changed in 1,000 years. It is a place where Africa, Europe, and the Arab world meet and mingle, a gateway between the desert and the sea, between the ancient and the modern. Few countries are so endlessly surprising. This is Morocco, seen from above. Welcome to Aerial Atlas. Morocco covers around 447,000 square kilometers, and few countries on Earth pack in such astonishing variety. To the north and west, it is lined by two great coastlines, the warm Mediterranean Sea and the wide, wild Atlantic Ocean. Down its spine run the mighty Atlas Mountains, snow-capped through the long winter, dividing the green and fertile plains from the desert beyond. And to the south and east, the land dissolves into the vast golden emptiness of the Sahara. From Mediterranean beaches to alpine ski slopes to towering desert dunes, you can find almost every landscape imaginable within this single nation. And at its northern tip, the Strait of Gibraltar brings Morocco within just 14 kilometers of the shores of Europe, so close you can see across the water. Morocco is famous, above all, for its 4 great imperial cities, each one a former royal capital steeped in history. There is Fez, home to the oldest continuously inhabited medieval medina on Earth, a breathtaking maze of 9,000 winding lanes, and to Al-Qarawiyyin, founded over 1,200 years ago and often called the oldest existing university in the world. There is Meknes, with its monumental gates and grand palaces, built by a sultan to rival Versailles, the elegant modern capital of Rabat on the Atlantic, and most magical of all, the rose-red city of Marrakech, jewel of the south. Marrakech is a feast for all of the senses. Within its towering ochre walls lies a dizzying maze of souks, selling spices, lanterns, leather, jewelry, and carpets, all watched over by the soaring minaret of the Koutoubia Mosque. At its beating heart is the Jema El Fna, a vast and ancient square that comes electric alive each evening with storytellers and snake charmers, drummers and dancers, fortune tellers and clouds of fragrant grilled smoke rising into the dusk. It is a swirling, intoxicating spectacle, unlike anything else on the continent, and one of the great living theaters of the world. Rising through the very center of the country are the Atlas Mountains, the proud homeland of the Amazigh, or Berber people, the indigenous inhabitants of North Africa, who were here long before the Arabs ever arrived. Their ancient language, Tamazight, and their deep traditions of music, weaving and hospitality live on in remote mountain villages and great fortified kasbahs built of red rammed earth. Among them stands Eight Benhadou, a stunning fortified citadel of mud brick towers rising from the desert, so cinematic and timeless that it has appeared in countless famous films, from epic dramas to fantasy worlds. Beyond the mountains lies the Sahara, the greatest desert on Earth. Here, near the small village of Merzouga, the towering dunes of Erg Chebi rise like mountains of pure golden sand, some of them over 150 meters high, glowing pink, orange, and deep red as the sun rises and sets. This is the land of nomads and camel caravans, of oasis palm groves and ancient trade routes, of silent star-filled nights and timeless horizons stretching beyond imagining. It is a vast and humbling emptiness, a sea of sand that has shaped the very soul of Morocco for thousands of years. Along the coasts lie Morocco's great ports and cities, each with its own distinct character. There is Casablanca, the country's bustling economic powerhouse, crowned by the immense and beautiful Hassan Roman II Mosque, whose minaret, the tallest in the world, rises straight up from the very edge of the crashing Atlantic. There is breezy blue and white Saharan, a windswept old port beloved by artists, musicians, and surfers. And there is Tangier in the far north, the legendary Bohemian gateway between Africa and Europe, where two seas and two continents very nearly touch across the strait. Morocco's history runs astonishingly deep. Long before the Romans built their grand city of volubilis here, with its mosaics and marble columns, this was the land of ancient Amazigh kingdoms. Later came the great Islamic dynasties, the Almoravids and the Almohads, who from this corner of Africa ruled a mighty empire that stretched all the way across the sea and deep into Spain, shaping the art and architecture of Andalusia. Through all the centuries since, through invasions and empires, Morocco has fiercely kept its own proud identity, and today it remains a kingdom, ruled by one of the oldest reigning royal dynasties anywhere in the world. This is a nation of truly breathtaking craftsmanship, where beauty is woven into everyday life. Moroccan artisans are absolute masters of zellige, the intricate hand-cut geometric tilework that adorns palaces, fountains, and mosques in dazzling color, of carved cedar wood and sculpted stucco, of richly patterned carpets and pierced metal lanterns, and of fine leather, still dyed by hand in the famous, ancient open-air tanneries of Fez. And at the very center of daily life is the ritual of mint tea, sweet, hot and poured from high above into delicate glasses, the universal symbol of Moroccan hospitality, offered everywhere to everyone at any hour. And then there is the food, one of the world's truly great and ancient cuisines. There is the tagine, a fragrant stew slow-cooked for hours in its distinctive cone-shaped clay pot, fluffy mountains of couscous traditionally shared with family every Friday, the astonishing pastilla, a delicate pie of pigeon or chicken, almonds and cinnamon, both sweet and savory at once, and rich, warming harira soup, flavored with saffron, cumin, ginger, preserved lemon, and the precious local argan oil, and finished always with a glass of sweet mint tea. Moroccan food is a true celebration of generosity, patience, and flavor. Morocco's economy is as varied and dynamic as its landscape. It is a giant of tourism, drawing many millions of visitors each year to its ancient cities, its mountains, and its golden sands. Its fertile fields produce citrus, olives, and the precious argan oil, found nowhere else on Earth. And beneath its soil lie by far the largest reserves of phosphate on the entire planet, vital to fertilizing and feeding the world. And out under the blazing Saharan sun, Morocco is building some of the biggest solar power plants ever made, racing boldly to become a global leader in clean, green, renewable energy for the century ahead. But in 2022, Morocco gave the whole world something truly unforgettable. The national team, the Atlas Lions, stunned the entire planet by reaching the semi-finals of the World Cup, becoming the first African nation and the first Arab nation ever to go so far in the tournament's long history. From Casablanca to Cairo, an entire continent and an entire region roared with pride behind them, in scenes of pure joy. And now, with the World Cup itself coming home to Morocco as co-host in 2030, the Atlas Lions march proudly and hungrily on towards 2026. A gateway between worlds of imperial cities and Saharan dunes, of Atlas peaks and two shining seas, of ancient craft, sweet mint tea, and unstoppable footballing dreams. That was Morocco from above. If you enjoyed the journey, subscribe. Here on Aerial Atlas, we fly over a new country every single day.